So, I've been thinking a bit about self-sabotage. Not about myself, actually, although I'm sure I do self-sabotage. Of course I do. Who doesn't, now and again? Actually, I was thinking about it because I saw it in someone else recently, and it got me thinking that there's degrees of self-sabotage. I was visiting the last remaining grandma of my partner's family. She lives just down the road from her pharmacy, and another member of our party that had traveled there to see her had a headache, so they decided to walk to the pharmacy. Grandma was waiting on a medication delivery from the pharmacy, which she expected by mid afternoon. It wasn't there yet, and we all had a gathering to get to for dinner pretty soon. Upon the walkers' return, they mentioned that the pharmacy was quite busy, and it sounded like they were scrambling because their delivery driver didn't show up that day. In that case, it was proposed that on the way to the dinner party, they'd take the grandma to the pharmacy to get her meds, since the delivery probably wasn't coming, and even if it did, but later, she wouldn't be there to receive it. And the response was that Grandma would rather be stubborn and miss her medication that day because she was adamant it was the pharmacy's job to have gotten them to her by the time she specified. And as much as that's true, it's also so backwards. Like, why actively hurt yourself? It's such a weird justification. It's choosing to suffer because of someone else's fuck up, like you're proving a point. But at the same time, the punishment isn't proportionate. It doesn't transfer. Nothing is gained in this sort of indignation. It won't magically make the pharmacy do better next time against forces outside of their control. The reason this one got to me over other matters of self-sabotage, like staying up late when you know you shouldn't, putting off chores, working out too hard, that sort of stuff, is because there was a solution to a factor outside of oneself. It didn't teach the pharmacy a lesson if she went and got the meds herself, but missing a medication that only affects her as an individual doesn't ultimately teach anyone anything, except how irrationally stubborn she was. It's one thing to not be fully aware of self-sabotaging yourself. I think it's another in this case to actively double down into it when others offer an easy solution. Like, no, I would rather just suffer, thanks. It got me wondering if it's easier to self-sabotage when there's an illusion of someone else at fault. Like, yeah, you could have done this thing for yourself to fix the situation, but you'd rather things were worse for you just because the blame belongs on someone else. So I sat with this for a while, and I'm not perfect. I can point out times that I've performed this behavior too. The easiest one to point out being my alcohol use, when it started anyway. I drank myself stupid because it was the only relief I felt while I was in a bad relationship, and if it became a problem, I'd justify it as being his fault, not mine. He made me do it, when in reality, I can't blame anyone but myself. I was the one over-consuming, using a crutch rather than doing the harder thing of leaving him. Maybe acts of blatant self-sabotage all have crutches that we just can't see. That it's easier to miss one's medication than admit how much they really need it. Maybe, on a deeper level, trying to punish a pharmacy by enforcing their failure to perform was some subconscious opposition to the mounting vulnerability of feeling underprioritized as an elderly person. But then that would be an even bigger question that I can't answer. Why do we actively fit ourselves in boxes that we hate? A sense of justification isn't a good enough excuse, and neither is familiarity. This is one of those functions we have as humans that spits in the face of evolution.